Hi, I'm Scott.
I'm Carter. Hello, friends, and welcome to Gathering Manna. Quick, practical steps to nourish your soul.
Now, we got this inspiration from the narrative we see in Exodus chapter 16. The Israelites have just been brought out of Egypt, and they're in the desert, and they're hungry. They start complaining and saying, God, you don't feed us. In Egypt, we had pots of meat that we gathered around. Here, we don't have anything. They grumbled, they complained, and so God does like God does, and he provided. He's a God of grace and mercy, and so he went to Moses. He said, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to provide quail in the evening, and in the morning, there's this strange substance that they called manna, and it was flaky, maybe bread-like-ish, but you would gather enough for that day, to nourish you for that day. If you gathered more, the next morning it would be filled with maggots. And if you gathered less, somehow it would be enough for the day. It would, grow or multiply. It was very mysterious, but it was from God. And it really lets us into the nature of God and what he does for his people. He's a good shepherd. He feeds his sheep. He provides for us. And so that's where the inspiration really came from. We said during this time, we need to be fed. And how can we find ways in which God can feed us? Maybe that looks a little bit different than normal.
Yeah, because right now we're in a really strange wilderness because of COVID-19. We're in this wilderness that has caused us to be on a journey indoors. Right. And we've lost the provision of our community. You know, we've lost a lot of the provision of our friendships right now and being secluded from each other. And many of us are finding ourselves really searching for what does life look like right now. For some of us, we're getting to spend a lot more time with our families, which is great. Like last night, I came home from work, and my girls, my wife and my two daughters, are doing a talent show.
Yes.
And they were all doing different tricks and gigs. And Trish, who is my wife, she held her breath longer than our girls could, and they were so impressed. They were like, "Wow, mommy's a superhero," right? And then they asked me, "Daddy, what's your talent?" And I said, "Are you sure you want to see?" And they said, "Yes, Daddy." So I boiled a noodle. And I proceeded to stick it in my nose.
Okay.
and I pulled it out of my mouth.
That's disgusting.
And I wiggled it back and forth. And then I pulled it all the way out of my throat, of my mouth. And there was a little string of spittle still attached to it. And my Amelia, my oldest daughter, gagged just. And she had to be rushed to the bathroom, and she didn't take that very well. But COVID-19 has caused us to entertain ourselves in these various ways. Some others of us, though, are finding it really difficult and lonely.
Yeah.
We're having a hard time not connecting with others in the normal ways. So we just feel lonely and isolated and alone. And it can be hard to see the benefits of what's happening here, to take the good with the very obvious bad.
Right.
So as followers of Christ, though, we have a unique opportunity to connect in our relationship to God. We need to switch our verbiage up. We need to switch the way we talk about this from talking about it as isolation, which is inward focused, which is looking at myself, to talk about solitude, which is relationship focused. Talking about how we can connect with the Father, connect with God, and make something beautiful happen with our spiritual formation during this time. And so, we've come up with a few steps. We're going to give you one at a time through this series. So Scott, why don't you introduce us to our first step?
Sure. In thinking about this time of solitude and how we can start to put something into action, we came up with the spiritual discipline of celebration towards God and his goodness. And really what this does, it helps provide actions that orient our spirit towards worship, towards praise, towards thanksgiving. And I think we need some of that right now. And so here's your first small step. Here it is, okay? We want you to find laughter. Find laughter. There's many ways you can do this, but I don't know about you. Laughter is extremely energizing to me when I've had a good laugh, not when it's a pity laugh or like, that was kind of funny, LOL, whatever. Instead, when I've had a laugh that's like gut wrenching, like I'm doubled over laughing so hard. When I come up to take a breath from that, usually it results in me just feeling really good. And really enjoying the gift of laughter that God has handed to us as human beings. And so that's the first way. Find laughter. And there's many ways we can do this. For me, it's through videos. I like watching really funny videos. TikToks, whatever, old Vines. I love old Vines. But whatever it is, I try to find a video and I spend time reveling in it and laughing. And somehow that produces a joy towards God where I say, God, thank you for providing this and transforming my situation, regardless of what it is, transforming it by simply allowing me to feel and experience this joy through laughter. And there's other ways you can do it. I mean, Carter?
Yeah. I love joking around, and a lot of it happens interpersonally, and so this time of social distancing can be really tough, but you still got to go to the grocery store. And so I really love going to the grocery store and going to the checkout line, and I do the same joke every time. I buy my gallon of milk, and they ring it up, and the cashier says, "You're already laughing." The cashier says, "Hey, do you want the milk in a bag?" And I say, "No, keep it in the carton, please."
Got him.
And usually they say, "Get out of here."
That's right.
But find a way to make someone else laugh. Find a way to laugh today.
Well, if you're into dad jokes, I think there's actually a ton of dad joke show-offs or something, like videos that you can see. Or it's people and they try not to laugh while they tell each other dad jokes. I'm about to be a dad, so like I've really been enjoying dad jokes lately.
You need to practice it. It needs to be part of who you
that's
are.
Right. Maybe I'll come to your feet and learn from the master himself. But yeah, laughter. And that's what we hope that maybe this is just one small step that you can pursue, whatever way that looks for you. But seek to let this help energize you during this time. Go outside, laugh with friends or family, call somebody up, tell them a random joke, hang up the phone, and then laugh at, I don't know, because you did that. I don't know. But find ways that you can laugh during this season.
Thank you for joining us. This has been Gathering Manna, and get outside your tent today.